Well, thank you for joining, Dave. My name is Jace. I'm an account executive here at Hyperbots. Like I said, we have Dave Sackett here, VP of Finance at Persimmon Technology, current customer of Hyperbots. So again, Dave, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Jace.
Cool. We'll dive right into things. So, again, this conversation is going to be a little bit more about Hyperbots, the AI copilots, and using the Epicor ERP, and kind of what that looks like. So, the first question for you, Dave, what makes Hyperbots AI copilots a strong match for Epicor that you guys are using today?
Yeah, Hyperbot ships with a plug-and-play connector for Epicor Kinetic, the cloud version, and in our case at Persimmon, we're using the on-premises version. So using Epicor's REST v2 endpoints or service connector for older builds, the connector gives copilots secure read-write access for companies, sites, suppliers, parts, um, AP, invoices, payments, any user-defined fields, and Epicor stays the system of record that Hyperbot sits on top of, and it simply removes the keyboard work that slows down finance and supply chain teams.
Awesome. It sounds like that's been going well for you guys.
It is, yeah, so far so good.
Awesome. And how long does a typical Hyperbots rollout take on Epicor?
I'd say between 3 and 5 weeks on average. A typical installation might be week one, connecting to the pilot to the company database, mapping fields, replaying golden transactions, making sure that things match up, cover user acceptance testing and production cutover. And all of that is done without any custom coding.
Sure. So a lot quicker than I would say most just to get up and running, it sounds like.
Agreed. Yeah, it's like we're using the standalone cloud version of Hyperbots that's easy to kind of plug into and get started right away.
Sure. And how often does the Hyperbots actually sync data with Epicor? And I guess what cadence would you advise?
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing, I think, is maybe a standard implementation with other customers, and as we go, we'll be able to kind of tweak it up and down depending on our needs. But for like company site structures, chart of accounts, that sort of cadence is done weekly. If it's suppliers, parts, or GL codes, that's a daily update. PO receipts, supplier invoices, how that gets into Hyperbots is done hourly, as real time as possible. And same with being able to write operations into the system, whether it's POs, invoices, journal entries, accruals. That's done in real time. So the frequencies can be throttled in Hyperbot's dashboard based on how much data is coming through and what you really need. So there is some flexibility there.
Sure. Very customizable. You could have, real-time cadence, hourly, daily, weekly, depending on what information it is. So, no, that's great. And how does each copilot automate an Epicor task significantly?
So, for example, with invoice processing that we're using, it reads the PDF from our mailbox, Outlook mailbox, kind of pulls them in, does a three-way match, looking at the PO and the receipt for auto GL codes and tax, and then posts that AP invoice in Epicor, almost 80% right now straight through. For the accruals copilot, it finds the PO receipts where there are no invoices and books a month-end journal entry and auto reverses it when the invoice arrives. For the purchase rec and PO copilot, it creates purchase order recs from contracts. It checks the budget rules, routes approvals in Teams, and converts the recs into purchase orders. For the vendor copilot, it validates tax IDs, banking details, automates onboarding, updates the supplier master with EFT data. For the payment copilot, it balances early pay discounts versus the cost of capital, builds payment proposal batches, generates NACHA SEPA files, posts clearing entries, and auto reconciles them against bank statements. And for sales tax copilot, confirms the ship from tax groups and part tax categories before the invoice post, so eliminating any tax mischarges.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing all that. And today, how does Hyperbots handle the exceptions or write failures back to Epicor?
Yep. So after every write, there's an instant read back. Errors like a closed fiscal period or duplicate document numbers trigger 3 auto retries. If it's still failing, the item lands in what's called an integration exceptions. It's a queue that finance gets a Teams alert on so that nothing fails silently.
Sure. Always lets you know where exactly it is.
Yes.
I guess what safeguards exist for security and data integrity and customization that you guys have seen today?
So the platform is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, along with ISO 27001 certified. The data is encrypted in transit and at rest. The access keys inherit Epicore's security groups. Uh, Least privilege, no stored passwords. User-defined fields and user tables are auto-discovered and fully supported with read-write capability. There's multi-site, multi-currency ledgers that are respected, and a single dashboard to show integration health across every Epicor company.
Awesome. And Epicor's environment can be heavily customized. How do those co-pilots cope with that?
So what happens is during the onboarding process, we pull Epicor data, metadata, and the user-defined field or customization becomes a mapping target. The AI learns from historical postings how to populate it. If we've got business process mapping workflows, that connector triggers them just like a human would, so that custom logic still fires and will work.
Sure. And how do you guys guarantee that each transaction posted into Epicor is actually succeeds or is, accurate?
Yep. So what happens after posting, whether it's an invoice, PO, journal entry, a payment, the connector rereads the record and compares all fields, the amount, the currency, the company, posting date. Only a perfect match gets a green check, posted check mark. Otherwise, the system will keep retrying or escalate it. So from a user standpoint, what we're doing is checking everything, especially where we're in a new installation and we're seeing all the transactions that our bot has given us the green check mark saying, yep, everything's correct. Every data field, everything you're expecting came in, should be no problem to go. We still have a human kind of just check the bot and push that in.
Sure. And then escalate it if need be.
Correct.
Got it. And what happens when you upgrade Epicor or migrate to another ERP, for instance?
So each connector is versioned. So during an upgrade or migration, we enable a dual write mode, posting both to systems that you cut over, and your copilots keep running, and there's no data loss. So Hyperbots continues to kind of sit on top of Epicor, and as long as that connection is there, it continues to work.
Sure. And could be an easy transition if you were to migrate. Cool. And
Mhm.
how does Hyperbot's integration handle on-premise Epicor environments?
So yeah, that's what we have here at Persimmon. So what was deployed is a lightweight agent on the Epicor app server. It opens secure outbound HTTPS tunnel to Hyperbots, so no inbound firewall changes. The agent can call on Epicor REST or Service Connect APIs locally, so that data never leaves our network unencrypted and remains under tight IT control.
Sure. How is Hyperbot's agentic AI on Epicor different from other AI add-ons that you've seen in the market today?
Yeah, which I've actually done an invoice OCR years ago, which was far simpler than what was much more basic to what we have today, which I'm excited about. So like that, most add-ons handle invoice OCR or simple workflow. Hyperbots delivers agentic workflow. So the AI acts, it raises requisitions, it posts journals, it reverses accruals, requests supplier credit memos, reconciles payments, closes POs, verifies tax. Finance trained models can achieve 99.8% accuracy and yield about 80% productivity gains versus maybe a 30% that we see from a pure RPA OCR plus an immutable audit trail for every step. So what I've seen in the past 5 years with AI and automating AP, a huge jump with AI agents, and I expect that trend to continue. So not only is it just simple machine learning to take a scan and put it in, there's actions that AI can take that take the place of a human to work as a really good tool supporting our AP team.
Sure. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate you sharing all that. And it's, great to hear that you guys are having success with the actual Hyperbots tool and you're seeing those productivity gains today. Again, Dave Sackett, the VP of Finance at Persimmon Technology. Thank you so much for joining us.